Hello again.
Hello?
Welcome to the first reaction video of 2025.
Oh, jeez.
Here's hoping we survive the year.
It's not looking promising, but...
We opened last year with the Cinema Snob's review of World War III. This year, not quite as apocalyptic, but kinda. We're going to be reacting to the first episode he put out in 2015, 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
A review that I remember like it was yesterday. This is the Cinema Snob's review of the Lucio Fulci Zombie classic, Zombi.
Oh.
One of the more notable Italian gore-fest movies, made on the coattails of Dawn of the Dead, trying to write its success, particularly because in Italy, Dawn was known as Zombie, spelled Z-O-M-B-I. And while this one's called Zombie here, in Italy it was called Zombie 2.
She called it Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, just shameless capitalizing on the other film's success. And this is a pretty good review. I think you'll enjoy it, where Brad just goes into the Fulciness. And without further ado, let's watch.
Alright.
Alright, we had some fun last year talking about simple-minded foreskin, rainbows, and Yeti Furbies. And while we'll be spotlighting some Italian horror films this year, we're going for the most prominent entries in the subgenre, which could only mean they'll contain all the class, subtlety, and sophistication as the most elite of our own American horror films.
Oh.
This is a messier review than usual.
I guess so.
There. I gotta say, feels appropriate to finally be talking about Lucio Fulci Zombie, given how many times I've talked about the sequels. Now I can know where all of the inappropriate dubbing, killing birds, and music video scenery originated from.
Not official sequels, I think.
It originated from Dawn of the Dead. There's a poster right there. You didn't need to cut to a picture. This is one of the few times where the poster on my right is actually getting acknowledged.
Poster on the other side is always Caligula.
Yeah.
Yes, upon the release of George Romero's classic indoor mall infomercial Dawn of the Dead, the film was given the more simple title Zombie because of the film's inevitable confusion with Dawn of the Dead. Yet a pre-existing script about zombies rampaging through island territory was also in production. So in order to cash in on the success of Dawn of the Dead, this film was retitled Zombie 2. And sequences were filmed in New York to make it feel like a sequel, I guess. Because indoor shopping mall, New York City, same fucking thing. And since there's no Zombie 1 in the States, it's just simply called Zombie for us. Or Zombie Flesh Eaters in Australia. Or Voodoo in Denmark. Or Zombies
Alternate titles.
In Japan. Or the most appropriate title of all, Island of the Living Dead. Oh man, if I were to ever do a video spotlighting sequel baiting and foreign titles, that would surely leave me chronologically confused. Zombie and Zombie 2 are the same movie, but not Zombie and Zombie, and somehow twins as Zombie 42 just stuck with me. At least back then, it wasn't the genre that was tired and overexposed. It was just the title Zombie. But the point is that even though this was written before Dawn of the Dead, it's called Zombie 2, so that clearly means it's a ripoff of Dawn of the Dead. So says the people who haven't seen it, as well as me. I've been talking for so long, I forgot how this movie opened. What happened again? Right.
The boat can leave now.
Ow, you just shot the captain. Zombie stars Tisa Anthropophagus Pharaoh, Ian I'm Not Roger Moore McCulloch, and Richard the Rectangle Johnson. These other names seem pretty Italian. How am I supposed to know this is an Italian movie if the names aren't fake American sounding? Eventually,
Like Vincent
the boat
Dawn.
makes its way to beautiful Los Angeles. I can think of something that needs to be digitally removed from this scene. This framing that is making me seasick. And that works out too, because part of the promotion for the film is that they included barf bags for the audience members to see this trailer. The
Awesome.
interests of public health. The management will provide a patron with a barf bag. Just to make the movie-going experience all the more pleasant. The combination of sticky floors, crying babies, obnoxious teenagers, and fucking vomit!
I'd have it as a collectible.
Whatever. This movie can't be that gross.
Hey, Sarge, that boat's abandoned.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was very obvious dubbing. If there's one thing I hate worse than obvious dubbing, it's a boat without a proper maid.
Oh, jeez.
This is quite like Quick's boat
Yeah.
before he offered to catch Jaws. That is, if his boat had a fucking zombie in it. Now we know who ate all the food on the boat. And the fucking beast is still hungry. I'll see him being shot in the head, but whatever. Zombies can't swim. And the way to rip off the fact that Dawn of the Dead had blood in it. Ace reporter
Very bright blood.
West is on the case.
70s.
As given to him by the movie's director, Lucio Fulci, as J. Jonah Burt Young. Already the crime scene is a mess. They didn't even chalk outline the wasted food. Tisa Farrow plays Ann Bowles, daughter of the boat's owner.
Yes, it's my father's boat.
I can tell by the empty packages of sour cream and salsa pork rinds. Meanwhile, we must find out what killed zombie Paul McCartney.
Do you have a hypothesis for the cause of this injury?
Yes, it's very confusing. How on earth could this man have perished?
Pass me the scalpel.
He asked for a facelift, and come hell or high water, I'm not gonna let death stand in the way of me making this man look like Bruce Jenner. Scalpels in the autopsy room, by the way, gives the corpses a massive boner, and decides to investigate the boat homicide herself when... Split your eyes, I'm Colin Firth.
That's not weird.
At least they got some good music in there.
He's got the puke on him.
Doesn't convince me.
Oh.
I guess it doesn't convince you either, otherwise you wouldn't be here. What are you looking for?
You've got a hell of a nerve, you know that?
You're not so bad yourself.
Oh, please.
I would ask what's with the disco soundtrack, but it's giving my shoulders a bit of a workout. So carry on. Again, just like that scene from Dawn of the Dead. You know, the scene with the boat in it. Only this is a little different, I guess.
Hey, what the hell?
Oh.
That was quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just Ian McCulloch is supporting a very unconvincing comb-over. I apologize, officer. Making out at a crime scene with the guy from Dr. Butcher MD is kind of my thing. All this leads to the information about the island of Matul, where the boat came from. Wait, island? Now we're ripping off the remake of Dawn of the Dead? How is this movie so psychic? And with the daughter of the victim teaming up with an older man to solve the mystery, it's also psychically ripping off Halloween 3! It's so embarrassing. The plane left.
Not quite as big of an age gap.
I'm sure someone will be there to film the island. It's just certain kinds of music that let you know that what you're watching is definitely taking place on an island. Here, let's just switch it up a little bit.
King Kong?
See, and now it's telling me that the one solving the zombie mystery is Inspector Clouseau. And he's Asian now. Peter and Anne get some help from Adrian Barfreau and comedian Steve Agee. They help take him to the island of Matul.
2 months of fishing, bathing, and such.
Well, we have to go to Matul.
Did he just call me a tool?
And experience with boats?
I make out on them with grieving women all the time. He's going to finally see this island.
This is Matul calling Guadalupe 1.
Wait, he's Matul? I wasn't expecting the island of Matul to be so handsome. Oh, damn it, he's taken.
I want to leave this damn island. Right now.
Could be worse. You could be in cannibal holocaust and people would assume you're dead. Loosen up. Who wouldn't want to be on an island of zombie research? Oh, ew. She's serving it in a tall glass with no ice? That's not how I drink my whiskey. She should be happy. Her husband, Richard Johnson, was almost James Bond.
Rectangle.
And you can
Yes, he was
tell
almost.
that she's still determined to act the unholy hell out of this scene.
I'm the only one who knows what you're doing. I don't think I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to tell everyone that you're the one who's crazy. Demented, cruel, evil.
Oh,
To be fair, nah, I got nothing.
I think they can make it work.
This is foreshadowing the reason that there was probably barf bags for this movie. Still don't know why
Fulci
she's so
loves
upset. Her
eyes.
house was being built around a pyramid, and her husband is going to keep on doing his zombie research until he himself turns into the Incredible Hulk. But
Yeah.
all he'll probably get is a bit part in Beyond the Door. Oh, and now we're ripping off Dexter. This is more realistic. Back on the boat, Al Cliver has the same tan on his chest that Ian has on the back of his head. And speaking of tan,
Because why not?
because sure, Dawn of the Dead had tits too. Just saying. I almost forgot that early strap-ons came with an oxygen tank. Such
It's the perfect way to scuba dive.
Oh my god. It's those things from the asylum film.
This scene is amazing.
Real. That's the look of someone who is now unsure about this scene, just like some of the other action scenes in this.
Back in New York.
I'm not sure that was planned. Plus, I was wrong. Zombies can swim. Oddly enough, the water zombie was originally supposed to be played by exploitation filmmaker Rene Cardona Jr. of Guyana Cult of the Damned and Cyclone. Probably because the scene has animal violence in it. I don't know. He dropped out when he became sick. Or maybe he just didn't want to wrestle a shark. Just think, what was a 1979 Italian exploitation film that handed out barf bags is now used to sell Windows 7 on television.
oh,
Knowing a zombie was going to turn up, the theme music was playing.
That's a real shark, by the way.
wow. I don't understand.
Gotta admit, this zombie versus shark scene is fantastic. But if you try something like this in a movie nowadays, I will be too good for it. Fortunately, radio show hosts are gonna say she was asking for the zombie attack with her nude scuba diving and all. Meanwhile, in a part that doesn't make me want to jerk off as much.
Yeah.
Doctor, hey, everybody leave him now. You're not
Fine, please.
As the best actor here, I'm gonna need more lines than you in this scene. The zombie epidemic is starting to make sense.
They pick up the positions and disappear.
Where did they go?
They're going they're making voodoo, I think.
Voodoo won't solve anything.
Voodoo. I remember that word used in passing in Dawn of the Dead. Shame, shame, shame.
Very shameful. Hear this. It's got great music.
Yep.
Love me some Italian.
Unlike the scuba diving scene, at least the window is nice enough to black box this scene for me. This woman has eyes that say, I don't care what it is outside, I'm still going to be troubled by it. I really don't think I should have said eyes, but oh shit, Hugh Cronin is trying to get in.
Strong door.
I keep hearing that this scene is a nasty bit of gratuitous violence, but finger severing? I saw that in the interview. That's nothing.
Oh,
I hope you got a strong stomach for what's coming.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wasn't that bad, I guess.
Doctor,
I'm sorry. Those sandals with those pants and that lab coat? She's certainly not named Dr. Fashion. Dr. Johnson is a better doctor.
Frank the Sand. So we good, Lon? Come on.
That would not only could the doctors be drunk, but they were also the heroes. Wait, don't do it. Son of a bitch! Having more realistic blood than Dawn of the Dead is a point against the film, thank you very much. I suppose this is one way to dispose of all these bodies. Hey Bob, hey Frank, how you doing, Ted? A little chilly. Seems most of the patients are simply trying to outact Richard Johnson's wife. And look at that puke around the mouth. She too gets sick by bad dubbing. Maybe now we can finally know what in the hell is going on around here.
You ever heard of voodoo?
Voodoo? Doctor, you gotta be joking. That's kid stuff. I mean, voodoo is just plain superstitious horseshit.
With all due respect. Dan's dad is seen stricken with the disease in a flashback, and oh, you motherfucker, don't do it! Too smart for you. It's ketchup. Just as long as they have their priorities right.
Fritz, friend of mine. Happens to be the only other white man on the island.
Therefore, he's extremely important. What about any other white people on the island?
My wife's alone at the cottage. We've only got our manservant to look after her, and I'd be very grateful if you call on her.
Here, look, we spent a bunch of money on the gore effects for her corpse, so we really need someone to find them. Here's an example of some of those effects right now. Although this isn't really a zombie. There was just a horrible pancake batter explosion in the kitchen. Here we are, Pyramid House. This must be the place. Let's see those gore effects we were told about.
Delicious. Ain't it?
Suddenly swimming with sharks doesn't seem like a bad idea. The act of doing it or the movie, I guess.
Either
To
way.
be fair, the Matul McDonald's did just get the McHousewife in stock. The gang almost gets away too, except, you know, it's a movie.
Of course.
I'm never cutting back. I'm a little unclear on this whole voodoo thing.
Is it voodoo?
Lucas not know nothing about it. My father always say, when the earth spit out the dead, they will come back to suck the blood from the living.
That's nonsense.
Okay, that line was a little bit like the "When There's No More Room in Hell" line from Dawn of the Dead. Luckily, they picked the perfect place to hide out, a cemetery. Make a movie on an island with Tisa Farrow, you may get to make out with her, but someone will probably try to eat you. This is what they get for
Perfect
just
time
letting
to be making out.
some dirt
Yeah,
on the corpse.
in the cemetery.
At least we finally get to see the real star of the film.
Poster zombie.
No joke, he is the real star. Look, he's all over the poster and all over the whole media copies of the movie. Just like how Dawn of the Dead starred the bald guy. What's this? We are going to eat you? Whatever. I think I've seen about 20 porno films with that tagline. I'm not scared of your rotted dick-sucking lips. Oddly enough, the zombie
Well,
actor Ottaviano
this was
Del
porno
Amo
holocaust.
did actually go on to star in a movie. It was Rats, Night of Terror. I can't see why that movie would pop up on this show later this year. I think we're gonna be fine.
Well, about 8
here.
years
We have
later.
4 heroes to help out with with this.
Ugh. That's some gooey skin.
Okay, 3 heroes. Shooting him in the back, you idiot. That's not how you kill a zombie. You overexpose them to death. Or that works too. Too bad he summoned his friends as well. Look, there's eyelids, worm tongue, and Christabel, according to this tombstone, I guess. And to add insult to injury, it's hurricane season. At least in that one shot it was. Now more than ever, thank God we've got a doctor on this island.
Continue with the transfusion.
You're gonna die anyway.
I forgot, he's also pessimistic Santa from Christmas in Pac-Land. The zombies have the entire place surrounded, and they even brought Dana Carvey with them. They didn't bring any weapons, but they did bring bad news.
What about my wife?
Which part of your wife? I, on the other hand, think that I know the reason why the zombies are approaching. Isn't it obvious they're being lured in by the sinister voodoo movie music? Go ahead and switch that off. Okay, sure, you can change it to something else, but the zombies are already there, and they're still hungry, so why not feast? Hell, some of them are already inside.
Well, he's gone.
Well, now I don't want him as my doctor because he can't see anything beside him. What the hell was that he said earlier?
We performed tests. Epilepsy. And for catalepsy.
Epilepsy. So he thinks I'm a zombie? Aside from that,
Brad has epilepsy.
Zombies Trojan horse them by bringing white bags of supposed candy as a gift. It really benefits the zombies too, that a lot of people just stand around and wait to die. Though the zombies do a lot of standing around too. Hey, how you doing? We hear there's booze in here. Any of you guys got a fireball? Huh, thank you, thank you. Actually, this is what downtown Springfield looked like when everyone woke up hungover on New Year's Day. The plan is if they destroy this place good enough, the zombies will want to take up residency elsewhere. The homeowner's insurance would be through the roof. And that's if the ceiling weren't on fire. At least he got to meet Rita Moreno before leaving.
Nope.
Hey, honey.
Well, fucking duh. Here, we'll get you back to New York. That's why everyone here turns into a zombie. There's no Band-Aids or Flintstone vitamins. And you're still our chauffeur, so you still need a driver, lazy asses. Until you die, that is. No matter. One zombie was left in the water and one in the morgue. I'm sure New York is fine.
Nope.
Huh?
There's the door. They're coming in.
Yeah, man cow, turn it off. Maybe this really is serious.
Notice how the traffic's still going?
How did they get up there? As dire as this situation is, New York being taken over by zombies, it's nice that everyone is driving away from the city at a normal, polite, non-emergency speed. Hell, some are even
going
driving back into the city.
Yeah.
Are they crazy? Whether Zombie was released as a standalone film or an unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead, the film was a cult hit with horror fans, and while being banned in certain countries like Great Britain, labeling it as a video nasty,
Of course.
The film rejuvenated director Lucio Fulci's career as a horror icon, who would then go on to direct other zombie splatter films such as The Beyond and City of the Living Dead.
Great film.
I'm sure those are rip-offs of Dawn of the Dead too. The original zombie film that takes place on an island with a voodoo curse. Wait. Have I been confusing Dawn of the Dead with Weekend at Bernie's 2 this entire time? Well, regardless if it's Weekend at Bernie's 2 or Zombie, they both have something to do with eye gouging.
pizza puffs.
Oh.
So that was the Cinema Snob's review of Lucio Fulci's Zombie.
A lot there.
Did you enjoy the riffing he did?
It was good. I could have done with a little less vomit, but
Yeah. This was definitely one of his more gross out episodes.
yeah.
But I get what he was going for, and there were two puke moments that I did think were really funny. When he's like, one thing I hate worse than bad dubbing is a boat with no good maid. And he's like, bleh. And then later he's like, that wasn't so bad, the eye scene. And then he's like, blah! Oh, those shoes!
The shoes. Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the best one.
Also, the splatter, as you saw, as he pointed out, it was ketchup. And those pizza puffs he was munching on, that's what he was puking up.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of great jokes, and I've seen Zombie 2, Zombie, whatever you want to call it. I own it, and I kind of have a poster for it stocked away somewhere. And yeah, it's corny. The dubbing is fucking
The dubbing
terrible.
seems terrible. It's like Iron Chef level.
But it gives you what you want for a zombie film. And it's got...
I thought the zombies were really good. Like
Yeah.
the zombies themselves.
Yeah, they look great.
They do.
They look like they've been buried in the dirt for years. And give the actors this for willing to have all those live worms on them. The gore effects were impressive, like the throat ripping. And the iconic eye scene. I know I got a friend who's a bit squeamish when it comes to eye scenes, so I'm not sure how he would fare with it.
Probably not well.
Of course, even though it's not the gorier moment, one of the gorier moments, the shark scene.
Yeah, that amazed me that they used a real shark in that scene.
Yeah, and as Brad pointed out, the original actor was like, no, I'm not doing this. So the zombie itself was played by the shark's trainer.
That's probably a little safer all around.
I didn't know sharks could be trained.
But it is a massive shark.
Yeah, and they really were filming like in the ocean with it. That's the impressive makeup there.
Yes, yeah. There's just a lot of continuity errors there. I just didn't understand until the end, I guess, the whole New York piece. And they just kind of flitted around. I don't think there's any islands like that even remotely near New York, but...
Well, it came on the boat.
I guess.
And as Brad pointed out, according to the trivia on IMDb, while they could get permission to film on the bridge, I think it was the Brooklyn Bridge,
Yeah.
they could not get permission from the city of New York to shut down traffic. So they just had to hope that nobody noticed.
Well, everybody noticed that this car's going in.
Also, the joke about the guy's comb over.
Yeah.
When you look at it at first, it looks like maybe he's just got a bald patch on the back of
Looked
his
like he had a
head.
full head of hair, yeah.
And then at the end, it's completely undone.
Yes.
So I'm like, give him points for making the best with what he had.
At least at the beginning, yeah.
I still don't understand. I mean, yeah, they want to have a naked woman, but I still don't get why she took her top off with complete strangers around.
Because it's just that kind of movie, I guess.
And the jokes of he's the only other white man on the island.
There were some problematic moments there.
And the doctor, Richard Johnson, I don't know if I call him handsome, but he definitely composes himself better than some of the other actors.
Sure.
Although,
I'm not buying the whole, I don't know, I guess the voodoo piece has its place, but...
even though, like, the way Italian films worked, Italian horror,
Yeah.
usually they hire, like, 5-10 actors who can speak English,
Yeah.
and then they have the rest of be Italian, and they tell them, just mimic English, and we'll dub you in later.
Yeah.
Here, I get the feel, it comes off almost like even the English-speaking actors had to be dubbed.
It just doesn't, there's nothing there. Yeah.
But yeah, I do love the movie. It's great. Carnage, very inventive, good music. That part about the father of my father is the most Dawn of the Dead sounding line, but in a way it kind of stands on its own.
Yeah, I don't think the storyline really holds up as well as the special effects, but I think it's the special effects, I think, that make, the zombies, the makeup, all of that holds up.
That summarizes Lucio Fulci perfectly.
Yeah.
He was never really one who had strong stories, but he had amazing gore effects.
Yeah.
There's one part that Brad completely skipped over. It's when the two morticians are looking at the body, and he says, "Get me the scalpel."
Yeah.
And the black mortician hands him a scalpel, who's like, "I wouldn't use this to cut butter."
Oh.
It's a weird but funny moment.
Yeah.
So, fun review, and can't believe it's been 10 years.
Yeah, definitely something different.
And to think, I wasn't even in my 20s when this came out. Now I'm a few months away.
I wasn't even in my 40s yet.
I'm just a few months away from 30. Wild. Either way, we're in 2025, and here's hoping we survive.
Yeah, that World War III thing's still a possibility.
We'll see, and if you want to hear our thoughts on that, click the link down below, check out that review. Later.
All right, enjoy.